What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition, the 100th edition of the Breakdown Sportscast. I'm your host, Kory Willis. I hope everyone out there is doing well on a Friday, getting ready for a great week 4 of college football. So I hope everyone out there is getting through everything you have to get through during this work week before you get ready to relax and watch some great college football. Got some great games on the slate for this week. So everyone, I hope you guys out there are doing well today. As always, guys, you know where to find us. We're on multiple streaming platforms. If you want to follow the show, of course, you can follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok, all at BD Sportscast. You can just type that in and find all of our content there. If you want to listen to all of our past and present episodes of the Breakdown Sportscast, you can find us on any of your preferred podcasting apps, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, all of that. And we are also simulcast on our official YouTube channel and our Twitch channel as well, at Breakdown Video Gamecast on Twitch. You can find the description below on the video here. We're on there playing video games, Chris and I, of course. So yeah, definitely follow us on there. And definitely leave a like, comment, subscribe to our official YouTube channel, and all of our channels is definitely important for Chris and I as we continue to grow this community with you guys. We very much appreciate you all support for these couple of years that we've been doing the Breakdown Sportscast. So yeah, definitely do that, guys. It definitely goes a long way as we continue to grow the channel. So yeah. As always, you know who I'm with, guys. I'm with my good friend and co-host. He is Chris Bolton. Chris, what's going on, my brother?
Man, what's going on? I'm feeling great. You know, like you said, episode 100. It's crazy that time is just been flying. We put in some work, man. This is it's an accomplishment to get to 100. So I'm very appreciative to have you as my partner in crime. You know what I'm saying, and making this all come together. So kudos to you, my brother. And I'm just excited, ready to talk about what's going to be definitely a fun week 4. Week 3 didn't disappoint. We had all the upsets take place. This kind of feels like the calm after the storm. There was the calm before the storm. The storm hit in week 3. Feels like we're kind of going down a little bit, but with college football, there's always going to be some shenanigans that takes place. So even though you might not see the upsets coming this week, it's going to go down. Something's going to go down, Kory.
Oh yeah, look, it's just like you said, Chris. This is the calm before the storm. Now, we were in the eye of the hurricane, and now Miami is going to really take us to through the main course of the hurricane, along with all the rest of the teams out here.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Unfortunately, Florida fans, you thought it was ugly in Baton Rouge. Boy, I don't think you've seen the worst of it yet. But we'll talk about that though for sure.
Yes.
There's a lot that's going to go down this weekend. So we'll keep getting answers about these teams and who they really are.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a great week 4 of college football, Chris. Can't wait for Saturday. I think these are the weeks where we've been waiting for. You get those first couple weeks of college football. Some of them are hits, a lot of them are misses in terms of the level of talent a lot of these teams are playing. But as the season progresses, you really start to see that shift in scheduling as teams start to get into in conference play with a lot of their brethren. So, and yeah, that's where we get to see a lot of these teams. We get to see what they're made of, and we really get to see them perform, and showcase why some of them are contenders for the college football playoffs or just pretenders altogether. So yeah, this is definitely one of those weeks where we're starting to see that coming to fruition.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We'll continue to see some teams kind of assert their dominance, and then others try to find their place in the picture, and make a name for themselves, and see if they can catch the radar of the AP poll. Man, it's some teams out here that's really getting slept on, and meanwhile, you can be out here winless and still find a way to be ranked. So, it's we'll see if there's going to still be some jockeying for position, because you do want to make a name for yourself, even though it's early in the season. You want to go ahead and be on the radar so that you can climb the ranks and already be on the committee's map, be in their peripheral, in their vision, line of vision, to know that we are a contender. So it's I know it's early, but that's already taking place now with every week.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, look, the CFP committee, look, they're eyeing closely. They've been eyeing closely at these last couple of weeks, and they're going to continue to do that as we get closer and closer to when's the first
Was it the first weekend of November?
no, in November.
Or was it November or December? I know it's later on. I think
it's
it
around
might
like
be
November.
December.
Okay. So yeah, like around that time, as we get towards like November/December, that's the moment in time where the CFP committee is, really, looking at what these teams are made of, and who are the contenders and pretenders in college football. But right now they're also looking at that as well. It's one of the reasons why when we look at the AP poll, yeah, I know that brings a lot of drama, and it has been the last couple weeks, and probably more than just the last couple weeks. It does bring a level of importance when you do look at it in the way that Josh Pate had kind of talked about it. The CFP committee, they do look at the AP poll. It is important for them because they need some bases to go out on. It's really not just them in terms of finding who are the 12 best teams. They do find, they do aggregate a lot of their data through other places, and the AP is one of those.
And just real quick before we get into things, I feel like we shouldn't have a preseason poll. I know it's fun. It's always awesome to talk about who we think are the top teams. We can do that for fun, but I don't think there should be an official one. I think for the first 4 weeks after this weekend, now let's unveil a poll, because we have actual results on the field. We've seen what teams have looked good, who's been impressive, and now you really have to do some work. Having a preseason poll gives lazy people keeping up with college football a blueprint, a guideline to kind of already mold their rankings by with the preseason poll. Now, if you have to create one yourself after 4 weeks of football, after a month of football has passed by, let's see how much you really know. Let's see if you're really keeping up with things and have your finger on the pulse of what's going on in college football, Kory.
Absolutely. No, I think you're coming along with something interesting, Chris. What does college football look like where there is no ranking for the first 4 to 5 weeks of the college football season? That definitely changes a lot of perception in the way we see these teams, because we're going out in the beginning of the season, and we're already ranking LSU or whoever number one, and like they haven't even played yet. So it definitely does bring a level of focus for everyone in the media, where maybe we don't rank these teams for the first several weeks of the season. Maybe we look at what they are on the field each and every week, and then by the time we hit the fifth week, then we can assess. Then we can make a ranking on who are the potential best teams, and then of course the CFP committee comes in around that November-December window, and then they make their assessment of these teams. I think they
I'm with you because I know we're going to talk about these two teams, but like Texas Tech has been as impressive as you can say as anybody in the country. With despite the competition they may have played, they've taken care of business and looked like a really good team. But now they're about to play Utah, so we're about to see how good really is Texas Tech. They've been impressive to this point. Now there's about to be another litmus test. So it's a big weekend for both of those teams, and could go a long way in how they are perceived in the playoff. And Texas Tech wins a game like that with how they played. Hey man, it's hard for me personally to not see them as one of the 10 best teams in the nation, because they really have. Tech has been playing some ball. I know we'll get into that matchup.
Absolutely, yeah. I think what Texas Tech has been doing so far this season has showcased pretty much kind of what we've been talking about right now. Maybe some people have been pushing them under the rug. Maybe they're a little bit under the radar to some people. But a team like Texas Tech, they've been balling. And, I think by the time when the rankings really become a topic of discussion during this season, people are going to know that. And some people are going to miss that. But, of course, us, we've been keeping our finger to the pulse.
you know how we do here on the Breakdown Sportscast, Kory. You know what I'm saying? We got our eyes peeled out here in the streets.
Absolutely. So yeah, and we are going to continue to keep our eyes out in the streets, because that's what we do, Chris.
That's just what we do. Exactly.
100 episodes strong and counting. That's just what we do. Okay.
Exactly. That's in our Dana. That's in our DNA. This is how we roll.
Right. It's in our veins. So yeah, man. Well, Chris, week 4, we got a lot of great games, of course, this weekend. Are you ready to go ahead and break all of these games down?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here we are, folks. Week 4 predictions. What we have on the slate this week? Well, we will go ahead and kick off this week with a big game. Look, we're gonna wake up, Chris, 11 o'clock kickoff in Utah, Texas Tech. Utah coming into this game as a 3.5-point favorite, Chris. Over under is at 57.5. Look, a big noon kickoff game. I gotta say, I'm ready for this game. My thing is, Chris, is the Utah Utes fans, are they ready for this game? Because they about to get up way earlier than what they should.
Man, what? That's tough. That's tough. I'm not gonna lie. They gotta be up at the crack of dawn. They gotta be up early. I know that much.
Look, they gotta be up when the roosters start roosting.
Tailgating will start at 6 a.m.
Woo! Good luck. Couldn't be me. That's all I gotta say.
Is it a 10 a.m. Local time for the kick?
In terms of Utah, in terms of their time.
Is it mountain time for Utah? I want to say it might be a 10 a.m. local kick. You said because it's big noon.
Yeah, so that game
it's noon Eastern. It's either 10 or 9 a.m.
Hey,
10,
maybe
10
9.
Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
So
Let me see. What? Let's just see right now. What time is it as we're recording this on
I
a
know
Thursday
USC
evening?
has a game where the Trojans will be playing at 9 a.m. local time.
Goodness gracious. So so that game will be. It will start at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Over in Utah. So not as bad, but hey.
Oh no, that's still rough. 10 a.m. is hey, you gotta be ready to hit somebody's head off at 10 a.m.
Because I was thinking it's like 8 or 9. So I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, nah, but still 10, boy. That's hey, the boy's gonna be up early.
Hey,
Walkthroughs will be early.
whew. Look, all I can say is Devin Dampier, man, you better get some good sleep. You better be sleeping on a sleep number mattress or something, man. I go to sleep like right at 6 p.m. I want to be up bright and early ready for this game.
But yeah, this one is it's at Utah, correct?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Quite the matchup, Corey. Quite the
Yeah.
matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It is.
so what are you thinking about this one?
Well, I've been looking at the tail of the tape all week, of course, and just been looking at both of these quarterbacks and Morton and Dampier and seeing who has the edge or who potentially has the edge over who. I gotta say, Chris, Devin Dampier, he's been balling right now. He looks like a really good dark horse Heisman contender. If they can win this game, and look, playing in Utah, they don't have like a huge stadium, but those people get loud and they love their
We just
utes.
rocking.
Yeah. And
Hmm. Hmm.
the interesting thing about this game is these two, they've really never played against each other before. So this is going to be new for both teams. And
Yeah, yeah.
I love games like that where you have two teams from opposite sides where they have no intel on each other. They've never really played against each other before. So
Hmm.
I'm going to say that Utah wins this game, but it's going to be close. And I'm looking at how the way Vegas is looking at it right now. I think this is going to be a really fun, close matchup of two, let's say, Heisman contending quarterbacks going
Hmm.
head to head against one another. Who knows, Chris? By the end of the year, we might be looking at this game as a Big 12 championship game. They might run it back on us.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like, who knows?
yeah. No, no, you're right. You're right.
I'll tell you this, I'm gonna be
You are
watching
right.
it.
What? Who you telling? No, this is a fun matchup. Um, I feel like for the first time in a minute, honestly, Corey, because I've had my reservations on Utah just because the quarterback play over the last couple seasons. Whether it's the starting quarterback not being able to be on the field because he's always injured, but Dampier looks good. He's throwing the ball well. Um, he brings an element of control of this offense of this system. And then with Utah's always going to have a stingy defense. If there's one thing that they almost feel like Iowa West, like West Coast Iowa, like they always have a defense ready and available. But I'm thinking in this one, this is the first time both teams will really play some competition that's going to give them problems. Um, I think Texas Tech They're all in this season. I think Texas Tech is ready for the challenge. This will be a great game. Morton has been building to this moment. He's an underrated quarterback nationally. I think this is going to be his coming out party. Both defenses are on fire, are incredible. I think Texas Tech does enough on defense, and I think their quarterback, who is experienced and ready, I think he rises to the moment. I think Texas Tech gets a tough, difficult road win. I'm really impressed from what I've seen with this team. And we highlighted their defense all preseason with all of the blue chip players that they brought in the portal. And all these guys have been producing. Texas Tech, as much as the offense has been scoring, the defense has been stingy as hell when the starters are in the game. And so I think Tech finds a way. I think Tech, I know I love Baylor preseason, but I've been most impressed by Texas Tech so far in the Big 12. I think they let everybody know it wasn't just hype this preseason. Yeah, we got all these portal players, but we're here. I think this is the moment that they let the country know this. Tech gets a difficult, tough, grinded out win against Utah. And whoever wins or loses this game, whoever loses this game, I'm not losing stock on them. I love both of these teams. They both have been playing great. It's just one of those matchups where somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. I'm going to go with Tech to find a way.
Great assessment. Great assessment, Chris. I think you hit the nail right on the head. Bear Morton, and I was watching a little bit before the season on, kind of, how, some teams like, do little documentary series, of course, almost like Ole Miss, what they do with the season, of course. I was looking at Texas Tech's version of that, and how they were just raving on this team, and in terms of Bear Morton, how they were raving on him. This guy's he's pretty much a hometown kid from that area, so he's like a hero to a lot of people in Lubbock. So he wants to be as successful as he possibly can be with this team this year, knowing what they brought back and what they just have in general. This is a really good Texas Tech team that I won't 100% count them out. I think Utah will win the football game, but I will agree with you, Chris. I'm not going to count out both of these teams either. I think they're going to be playing some really good football in this game and throughout the season, and they're going to showcase that to a lot of people that probably written off both of these teams. And in terms of Texas Tech, especially them, because in the state, who are we always talking about? Talking about Texas Longhorns first.
Mm-hmm.
Hilariously, you talk about OU because there's a lot of Oklahoma fans around here. And then, list goes on and on. You're probably talking about Baylor, then Texas Tech,
A&M.
and then A&M.
And now SMU they put themselves in the mix after going to the ACC championship game.
Look,
the seats they had last year.
Exactly. So it's a lot of teams, a lot of people with a lot of hats around here, and sometimes for the most part, Texas Tech is usually the odd man out of the topic of discussion around the state of Texas college football. So yeah, they got a great opportunity. Like I said, I won't count them out completely to win this ball game, because they definitely have been building towards a moment like this in terms of having big games, and this is going to be one of those big games where they can definitely have an opportunity to take advantage of and showcase to the college football world why they belong this season.
Agreed. Agreed. So it's going to be a fun one. Everybody buckle up. Uh, Big 12 football never disappoints. So just get ready. This might be the best big noon kickoff we've seen yet. This game has all the makings to possibly be a game of the year contender. It could be a Georgia Tennessee. Yeah, I mean it's one of these types of matchups where yeah, you both teams will come ready to play ball. So it'll be fun.
I agree. I agree. So yeah, man, I can't wait for this game. It's going to be a big one. Big noon kickoff, right on Fox. I'm all ready.
Hey man, shout out to Big Noon Kickoff. Like, ABC has been great with the SEC games. ESPN's been great with the SEC games. It's something about Big Noon Kickoff though, man. I really rock with the Big Noon Kickoff. You giving me a prime matchup to start the day. We should have been doing this, Kory. This is amazing.
Look, I love it, man. And look, one of my well, I guess you could say probably my favorite college football commentating duo, Gus Johnson and Joe Klatt.
Yes.
They definitely bring the ambience, the excitement
Yes.
of why we
Yes.
love
Yes.
college football each and every Saturday. We don't get many of them. Um, a game like this reminds you why we love the game so much. So shout out to those gentlemen because they do a great job calling those games on Fox.
Yes, sir. Yes, for sure. For sure. Right. I'm with you.
Absolutely. So yeah, man, should be a fun one indeed, Chris. We are definitely going to be talking about it on our Sunday live show. So yeah, folks, definitely tap in with us when we get ready to talk about that game. So yeah, Chris, anything else you want to add to this game before we move on?
No, sir.
All right. Well, moving along, we will. Next game, Chris. We're talking about Big 12, no, big games in that
Mm-hmm.
conference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For that league, let's go ahead and talk about the big game that probably rivals that one in the Big Ten. Illinois
Mm-hmm.
has to travel to Indiana, Chris. Indiana is a 6.5 point favorite. Over under is at 52.5. Who you got, Chris?
Oh man.
This one's
Wow.
this one's exciting.
This is exciting. And I almost included this game in Bolton's bets,
I
but
know you did. I know you were thinking it
I was
because I was
thinking
thinking
about it. Because it can play out in a few different ways.
it. Mm-hmm.
But I was shocked to see that Illinois was 6.5 point underdogs. I know it's on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Illinois has been very impressive though.
I know.
The defense has been on point. The offense has put up points. Indiana's had a couple hiccups. I mean, they played fairly well over the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
There was a hiccup against a lesser opponent, in which you expected Indiana to beat them, more handedly. When you look at how these teams match up, I think Illinois is set up to play good football against Indiana. I know Brett Bielema will come with a great game plan. There are not many staffs that rival, uh, you know, him and his staff in coming up with the proper game plan. And this is one of the more well-coached teams in the nation. I think you have to be one of the best well coached teams in the nation for both programs to be at this level, whether you're Illinois or Indiana, because it's unheard of. It's very uh, few and far between when both of these schools are, having the success on the gridiron that has them ranked so highly. And last time I remember Illinois being like this was Juice Williams, Kory, and they weren't even this high when they had Juice Williams back then when they upset Ohio State. Um, but
Players
I
don't even
think
remember that nowadays.
man,
These
that just show
players.
my age. The Juice Williams lob just let people know that I'm unk status. Am I washed, Corey? But no, for real though, Illinois has the QB, Luke Altmaier. We talked about him all the time. Veteran presence. This is the season. And a lot of veteran QBs have struggled, actually, especially in the SEC to this point. Luke Altmaier has been just fine. And again, I think this is the moment. Well, like you said to begin the podcast, we're stepping into these big boy games, these games that really give you an opportunity to show your mettle. And I think this is Luke Altmaier's chance to show why he is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation and for him to help his team on their journey to win a Big Ten championship. Indiana's just another opponent. And Indiana's on that same mission as well. They have unfinished business after how things finished last season. Um, but Illinois brings back a lot more returning production. And I think this team is built to go on the road. And it's, again, I'm going with the road dog. I'm rolling with Illinois to win a tough game. I think it'll be a defensive battle, even though both of these teams have offenses that can score points. I think it'll be a defensive battle for today's college football standards. And I see a 27-24 Illinois win.
Interesting. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, I've been looking at this game all week, just like Tech in Utah, and I gotta say, both of these teams match up very nicely with one another, and I think it's gonna show on Saturday. If I had to pinpoint on who's going to win this game, I think I gotta go. I think I have to go with Illinois as well, and that's just because Brett Bielema always has this team up ready to play. like you can't you can't say he doesn't because he does. Like this team is always ready for a challenge anytime and every time they step on the football field. And I know Indiana's going to be rocking in this game. I think they're going to have a really good game as well, but it's going to come down to someone winning and losing, and someone who has a lot left in the tank in order to seal the victory. Who's it going to be? Brett Bielema hasn't showed me that they've ran out on E yet. they still have a lot left in the tank, and I think they're gonna draw up a couple plays with Luke Altmaier to seal the victory there in Indiana. So hey, good luck to the Hoosiers because this is a tough football squad that they're going to face. And I know last week wasn't the best weeks for them, but hey, this is why you play the games. Indiana State is not going to be anything with what you're going to see on Saturday against Illinois. So you got to come with it and be as prepared as possible. And look, Kurt Signetti, really good, really great football coach. He's going to have these guys out to play. They're playing at home. Like I said, it's going to be a raucous crowd out there. So, yeah, if I had to look at it, I think Illinois is just going to have a little bit left in the tank for them to win the ball game. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Illinois wins this ball game 27-24. Late game field goal wins them the ball game.
Yeah, we see it the same way. Same score and all. It just seems like one of those games. Like you said, Illinois always comes ready to play, and there's some things you can't measure. It just feels like they have the intangibles. It's like it's what the program is based off of, are the intangibles. And a lot of these guys have gone through the ups and downs. They've had their fair share of wins and losses. They beat a Kansas last season. Then you turn around, you had your tough losses as well in the Big Ten play. And it feels like everything is building to this season. So I'm gonna roll with the team that, like, we're both rolling with them. We both have been high on Illinois all off season. This is a team we love, and so far the product has been right there to back it up. So I'm gonna have to see it through. Well, I'm not gonna jump off the ship. We've been riding this bandwagon for a minute now. I'm not about to jump off. Yeah, I gotta see it through, my boy. We got to see what happens. So I'm gonna roll with the line now.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we gotta make it to our destination with Illinois. It's like, look, we've been on the ship long enough now. Brett, we are not getting off this ship. You are not, you are not sending the lifeboats and let me fend for myself. Okay. we are riding the dying with you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going. We ride and die. We gonna rock with you. So because we can see this team messing around and be right there in the mix for a Big Ten championship. But to make that happen, it starts this weekend. You got to win this one. So let's see how everything goes. And Indiana has a great chance of winning. Home team, offensive system that can put up points. They very well can win. We're not writing off Indiana one bit. I'm gonna just see it through with Illinois though.
Yeah. Look. So far, Fernando Mendoza, he's already thrown for 9 touchdowns this season. So I'm not gonna count him out. what for? I think he's done his job so far this season. So, hey, I think Indiana definitely has the dogs. They definitely have the horses to be in it with Illinois. So this game is kind of, I mean, it is pretty much a toss-up game for the most part. But if I had to pinpoint on who's going to win this game, I can't I can't say that Illinois is doesn't can't say that Illinois doesn't have anything in the tank to win this ball game, because they showed us last year and they showed us this year that, hey, they're a well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So I'm still going to keep my pick with the fight in the line out.
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, man, should be a fun one indeed. NBC, they told Fox, like, look, you got one of these big games, of course, one of these dark horse games. We got one too. So we'll see which game matches up the best. So should be a fun one.
Most definitely, it will be.
Yes, sir. Anything else, Chris, you want to add to this game before we move on to our next game?
No, sir.
All right. Moving along on today's show, guys, we appreciate your support. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what's your favorite game of this week 4 of the college football season.
Hype the video up as well.
Absolutely.
If you're watching on YouTube, use the hype feature as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, we appreciate that. So yeah, guys, definitely engage with our listeners, of course, and us as well, because we want to know your thoughts on week 4 of the college football season. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
So moving along, Chris, this game. We got to talk about this one. Michigan traveling to Nebraska. Michigan is a 1.5 point favorite. Over under is at 47.5. Look, we've already seen what Bryce Underwood looks like as a true freshman in a hostile environment. Nebraska is a hostile environment when they're good, and this team has some dogs this year for the Cornhuskers. And hey, led by Dylan Raiola, baby Mahomes. Interesting ball game, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Who are you looking at in this ball game? Who's going to come out on top?
So I'm gonna keep it short and sweet with this one because it might sound disrespectful, but I didn't have to put much thought into this game, Kory. And what I'm hearing from some people is actually surprising me. I got Michigan. I feel confident in saying that. I have Michigan winning. I have Michigan winning handedly. I almost put this one on the Bolton's best. It's actually we'll just say it's an honorable mention.
It's definitely worthy.
Yes, Michigan has had his struggles, but I feel very confident in Oklahoma being a contender this year, a national contender, a dark horse to win it all, let alone make the playoffs. Especially when you look at the defense and John Mateer, what he brings to the table. Oklahoma has the goods. That was a tough one for Michigan, but they were in the mix. Nebraska, yes, they have Dylan Raiola. Nebraska ain't got nothing on Oklahoma though, Kory. They ain't in the same league. And Nebraska was in a dogfight. I know it's early in the season. They were in a tussle with Cincinnati. And I just can't, men in black myself and erase that from my memory. It's just how that game went and how close Cincinnati was to winning in a neutral field against that team that was mostly Nebraska fans. So yeah, give me Michigan. Give me Bryce Underwood, the quarterback that has the goods, I feel like. Raiola is nice. Very much check down Charlie. I haven't just been thoroughly impressed by what he brings to the table. I haven't seen Nebraska's offense take the leap that you would expect them to have made, bringing in a Dane Key, the running game that they have. Raiola being a highly touted 5-star recruit. I haven't seen it come together yet. I know Michigan is built for big games. Yes, they lost to Oklahoma. But I still think that that DNA is in Michigan to remind everybody who the hell Michigan is in a matchup like this. I think they put hands and feet on Nebraska. I think it gets ugly. I got Michigan winning by 20.
Woo! Hey, you're not even giving Nebraska a little shred of a chance, my brother.
they may have a chance. I just need to see it. I feel really good about Michigan in this one.
Yeah, this is another one of those games where I was, looking at a lot of the players on both sides in this game. I understand where you're coming from. I think until we really see Nebraska consistently win big games against formidable opponents, it's one of those things where we're asking ourselves like who have you beaten? And I looked up the schedule, of course. Yeah, they beat Cincinnati 20-17 in the Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes left early. I'm sure Dylan Raiola didn't like that.
He wasn't impressed. Even Pat Mahomes wasn't.
But he was there. He was there. You beat Akron 68-0. It's Joe Moorhead. What more else can you say? And you beat Houston Christian. I didn't even know who Houston Christian was.
Houston Christian had a school. Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at that game last week. I'm like, who? I'm like, who is HCU? I'm like, okay, all right, it is what it is. 59-7. All right, and now you got Michigan. So, yeah, until we can consistently see Nebraska take on, actual opponents that matter. No disrespect to some of the teams I mentioned, but they're not playoff contenders. Until we see them knock off some of these opponents like a Michigan, like a Ohio State. Nebraska's still one of those teams where, they gotta prove it. Look, we know their history in the past. These players, they know nothing about Nebraska in the way that they used to be. They got to go out there and they got to earn it each and every week to prove why they're one of the best teams in college football. First off, you got to start by knocking off a giant in the Big Ten in a Michigan. You can do that, then you can really turn some heads and say, hey, maybe Nebraska's back. Look, you didn't pay. It's kind of like what you said, Chris. You didn't pay all that money bringing in Dane Key, bringing in a guy like Dylan Raiola, to lose games like this. This is a big one at home for you. So you really got to come out and showcase why you are one of those top teams in the Big Ten Conference early in the season, because as the season progresses, if you're not showcasing that, most people are not going to really put you in the docket and being one of those top tier teams. So you got a lot to prove on Saturday. Can he do it? Can they do it? Possibly. We'll see. But it's going to be an uphill battle with all of that talent that they're going to see on the other side of the field with the Michigan Wolverines.
I'm with you. You know how I feel. So yeah, I got the Wolverines doing what they do. I know it can be ugly at times, but the talent has increased exponentially on Michigan's offense. Uh, they have the QB that can make plays, and I just feel like we'll see. Bryce has settled down a little more this week, and I know Nebraska has a tough defense himself. Very tough defense. That's the best part of this team is the defense for Nebraska. But I think the youngin will be ready. He'll prove himself ready for this one.
I think so too. It's a good thing that Bryce Underwood went to a hostile environment like a Norman, Oklahoma, to see that adversity, to let it sink all in. I think he'll be ready for an environment like Nebraska. Great venue, definitely a great historic venue. Those people in Lincoln are going to be, up on their feet, ready for this ball game. And hey, I think
it'll be loud.
Yeah, it's gonna be loud, but I think the young freshman QB is going to let that sink all in, and I think he's going to have a pretty good day. So I'm going to give Michigan the victory. I'm going to go ahead and say, Chris, they win this game 31-17. It's going to be a late game run where Underwood's going to take charge and get these guys out of here with the victory in Lincoln. So yeah, I'm looking at that for this weekend for the Michigan Wolverines.
Yes, sir.
That they're gonna have a good day.
I'm with you.
Nice. So yeah, man, should be a fun one indeed. We'll be talking about that game on our live show coming up this Sunday.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. Anything else, Chris, you want to add to this game before we move on?
Nah. I think we've hit it, so we're good to go.
All right, folks. Moving on to our final premier game of the week before we head over to Bolton's bets. We have a monster game, Chris. We haven't talked about the SEC yet. Here we are. Auburn traveling to Oklahoma. OU is a 6.5 point favorite to win this ball game. The over under is at 47.5. So, Chris, we got John Mateer playing for the Oklahoma Sooners. The man he's going to be coming face to face with is a guy that used to play there last season in Jackson Arnold, now at Auburn, playing for the Tigers.
Yeah.
It's an interesting ball game, Chris.
It's a game.
Yeah, this is going to be a ball game. This is going to be, a slobber knocker, as the one Jim Ross used to say.
This bad boy might not be at 11 a.m. Central Time, but this is Jefferson Pilot special. It's a game right here, boy.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I don't think any of these quarterbacks have to worry about throwing that much, because I think they're gonna be going wild with rushing. They're gonna be running the football, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like watching. It's gonna be like if you saw Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts go head to head with one another.
Yeah, man. We saw Auburn in their season opener against Baylor. They ran for over 300 yards and didn't mind it one bit, and have Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton on the outside. Auburn got receivers now. They had some receivers. Didn't use them.
I think that's how this game is going to be. It's going to be a rushing affair. I think the running backs are going to have a great day, and I think both of these quarterbacks are going to have a great day as well, rushing the football.
And both of these defenses can make plays.
Yes.
These are two, as strange as it may sound, I think these teams are so evenly matched. I like what I've seen from Auburn so far. I think Auburn has passed the litmus test. Auburn is a team that I can see in the college football playoff when it's all said and done, Kory. Everybody was worried about how Auburn would look this season based on the rumblings coming out of Auburn in the preseason, and how Hugh Freeze was kind of, choosing his wording in discussing this team. But I think Auburn, they have the pieces to go on the road and win this game. They have some guys who can make plays on the outside. Jackson Arnold himself just has to prove, can he make those throws? We've seen him make the runs. We saw what he did at Baylor. Put on a show with his legs. Can that be enough to win this one, though? Because this is another level of team. Oklahoma's at another level than Baylor. Baylor's a really good team. Oklahoma's a step above. They are a true CFP contender. And we'll find out. Can he make those plays with his arm? Because I think to win this one on the road, Kory, Jackson Arnold, the runner, and the timely passer will have to step up and make the necessary plays in this one. So that's what I'm ready to see. Because this is, oh my goodness, this is. I've been looking forward to this game from the preseason, especially with what we've seen from these two teams so far. These are two of the better teams in the league. It's kind of like Tennessee, Georgia last week. We're getting another true test to see who is that team in the conference. Because yes, Texas and LSU with Alabama, all those teams had all the preseason hype. When you're watching the games, just like Tennessee was looking great, Auburn and Oklahoma have looked the part so far. So let's see who's the one. And I'm personally, I'm going with Oklahoma in a nail biter. I'm talking a 1 point win, but I can see Auburn leaving with a victory. It doesn't shock me one bit because Auburn's basis is the run game, Kory. And being on the road in this kind of matchup, if you can hang your hat on running the football, that sets you up to win on the road. I'm gonna go with Oklahoma though.
Look, when you have great defenses, look, you can go a long way. Hey, right now you hear those Tigers down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You know they're hanging their hat on their defense. Offense really isn't doing much of anything, but the defense, that's championship level defense. With Oklahoma right now, I'm seeing the same thing right now. Championship defense. And hey, if Oklahoma can win this ball game, it's going to probably be because of their defense. They're going to make the stops, the necessary stops, because they can to win this ball game in Norman. I think Hugh Freeze, he's definitely going to, you know, chuck a lot of stuff out there for Brent Venables and that defense to, you know, try to defend the best that they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn has some really good receivers. Jackson Arnold is a really good passer, excellent runner. It's one of the reasons why I think it's going to be a very big rushing affair from both of these teams, just because they can do it. I think they're going to go in knowing, being confident, Chris, that they can just do that on each other. But you know, I think overall Oklahoma, I think they're going to expect that, and they may not be able to fully stop what Hugh Freeze has in store for the Sooners this Saturday, but I think they're going to do well enough to contain, to slow down that potent offense for Auburn. So, yeah, I'm looking at Oklahoma in squeezing out with the W. I'm going to go ahead and say Oklahoma wins 24-17.
See, I was thinking 24-23. Like it's gonna
be close.
This gonna be a stressful game for both fan bases. I'm glad I have no horse in the race in this one. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy. It's gonna be absolute cinema. So yeah, this one of the ones, boy. This is a fun game, fun matchup.
Yeah, I can't wait for this one, man. I've been waiting for this one, for this game all week, kind of just like the Texas Tech and Utah game, and I'm happy to know that we're edging closer to watching this matchup. Two teams, two storied programs going head to head with really good quarterbacks. That's what I'm excited about. So, yeah.
Really good quarterbacks and low key desperate head coaches that both need this one to make their respective fan bases get off their ass a little bit.
It's literally LSU, Florida, just in Norman. That's all it is.
Another day in the SEC.
Yep, just another day in the SEC. That's all I gotta say about that. Look, you just take all the stakes that was in that game in Baton Rouge last week and just drop it in Norman, Oklahoma.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's gonna be a fun one, Chris. Can't wait to break down this game this coming Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, anything else you want to add to this game before we move on to Bolton's bets?
No, sir. We can keep it rolling.
All right. Moving along, everyone, on our 100 edition of the Breakdown Sportscast. We appreciate you guys. We have Bolton's bets for week 4 of the college football season. Chris, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off here. You have Tennessee, UAB this week. Tennessee is a 37.5 point favorite. The over-under is at 69.5. Look, we know what happened with Tennessee last week. They had the opportunity, Chris. They were right there. They could have dethroned Georgia and Kirby Smart. They didn't do it, but they got another game to bounce back. So, what are your thoughts about this week?
I think some cases this would be a game where it could be a letdown, and there is a possibility where that is the case. I think Tennessee has some anger to get off. I hate it had to be UAB. I think Tennessee opens up a can and puts it on the Blazers in this one, because also just watching UAB hasn't impressed me. I don't really like what's going on out there at UAB, so that makes me feel even more confident in that can being open, and it's gonna be open manually, the old school can opener. They ain't using that electrical one. This is the one that you twist with your wrist. It's gonna get ugly. I'm talking like 63-3. So that's what I'm expecting, a good old fashioned beatdown by the Volunteers.
I will ask this: what are the odds that we see a complete and total meltdown from head coach Trent Dilfer of UAB? Because you gotta get one of those.
The over under is at 1.5. We getting at least one.
It seems like every year you're gonna get the annual Trent Dilfer crash out.
Yes. So yeah, I expect a few of them.
Yes,
2 of them on field and maybe 1 at the post game presser.
Well, we gotta love a great Trent Dilfer crash out each and every season. Just gotta get one.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, man. Well, we will see from Tennessee this week. I think this is a big bounce back win for them as they get ready to continue into SEC play. So yeah, we will see. Moving along, Chris. Miami hosting Florida. Miami is a 9.5 point favorite. The over-under is at 51.5. Maybe Vegas is being a little bit too kind to Florida. Off of this one. Who you got?
Keep it short and sweet. Miami. By a lot. And after every touchdown, you're going to hear Mario Cristobal quoting Kendrick Lamar. It's not enough. He needs more points. He's going to unleash. They might beat Florida so bad, Billy might not get a chance to redeem himself. They might say, you got to go after this one. It might get that ugly. I don't think Florida stands a chance. I think Miami has proven himself to possibly be the best team in the nation. I know it sounds crazy, but Miami is cooking offensively, and they have the defense to match this season as well. The Hurricanes are for real. And if the U is really back, they put one of them old school 2001 ass whoopers on Florida in this one. I think that's what we're going to get.
Look, man, if I'm a running back for Florida and I see Reuben Bain Jr., I might be running in the opposite direction. Like, look, man, that man and that defense, they are nasty. They do nasty business on some of these teams each and every week, Chris. Miami's balling. They like the U, like the U. They back. Like the intensity. I'm loving it. They are back.
Hey, it's nothing like when Miami's playing well. So the U looks back for sure.
Yeah. So hey, shout out to Mario Cristobal. He has this team rolling right now, and look, we know that they're going to be trying to make this into a statement in the state of Florida.
Brother, did you see all the recruits? They got like 7 of the top recruits, wide receiver recruits in the nation coming to this game. Carson Beck finna throw for 400. They are not going to stop. They are really trying to whoop Florida's ass. They got all the wide receivers coming to this game. I ain't seen nothing like this.
That's insane, man. Like, look, they must have like the Madden or the college football 26 achievement meters going on right now. Like, look, if you throw this many for this many yards, for this many touchdowns, you get like 8 4-star wide receivers.
Beck is gonna throw for 5 touchdowns and 400 plus yards. He is. I'm telling you. Like, they are here to make a point, and it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly, especially if BJ Lagway's still seeing ghosts. It will get ugly.
Look, man, I think he's seeing ghosts. I think he's seeing Casper, all his friends. Look, man.
He need to call Ghostbusters.
Right. like, man, you throw five interceptions, man. Like, it. We gotta have an intervention. We gotta scare you straight. Like you said, Miami, they definitely got the edge right now. This team is balling. They're clicking on all cylinders. And hey, I think Florida, unfortunately, they don't stand a chance.
Just to keep it sweet and simple, it should get ugly.
Yeah. So yeah, man. It should be a great game for Miami. I'm sorry, Florida fans. I think it's the truth. And yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah. Yep. The vibes will continue in our next matchup, Kory.
Oh yeah, absolutely. From one, it should be beat down to another. Oregon versus Oregon State, the Civil War in the state of Oregon, Chris. Oregon comes in this game as a 34.5 point favorite. The over-under is at 56.5. You have Oregon winning this ball game, I know, by a hefty margin. Go ahead and let the good folks out there know about this matchup.
Yeah. Oregon let us down in letting Northwestern get the backdoor cover in the fourth quarter of the last game. I don't think that's going to happen in this one, though. I think Oregon beats Oregon State like to a pole. Oregon State is bad. They are bad, Kory. As much as this is a pick on how well Oregon is playing and how good of a team Oregon is, Oregon State ain't good. And that's kind of the theme with these picks and why we're going with these teams to cover large point spreads. Yes, teams are good that are predicted to win, but the opposition ain't hitting on nothing. That follows suit in this one. I know it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. And in my opinion, anything that happens in this one is a ass whooping. Another can will be open manually. They will be, you know how you go camping and you got to do things manually. You have to use your hands and tools yourself when you're camping. And you want to crack open a can of beans, put over that fire to let it cook. That's what Oregon's going to do. They're going to grab that can and open that can of beans themselves. Except this can won't be a can of beans. This is going to be a can of whoop ass. And ass will be whooped. And after they finish opening the can, they going to, look at their pants and see that belt that they got, keeping their pants up tight. They're going to take that belt off. They're going to put that belt to ass. So it's gonna get bad out there, boy. I got Oregon putting doing things in Oregon State that really shouldn't be spoken on these airways, Kory. So yeah, it's going to get ugly.
So yeah, Oregon State, like you said, Chris, it's gonna be a barn burner, and it's not gonna be in the barn burner that you think it's gonna be.
It's gonna be some dams broken for the Beavers.
Yeah,
the floodgates will be unleashed.
Right. Agreed, sir. So yeah, it's gonna be rough. It is definitely going to be a rough one. But other than that, Chris, that's it. That's our Bolton's bets for the week.
Yes, sir.
Week 4 of the college football season. There's so many other games, Chris, that we didn't mention. Of course, we got Arizona State traveling to Baylor. 2 heavyweights in the Big 12 going toe to toe with one another. I think that game's going to come down to the wire. I'm going to pick Baylor to win that ball game, so that should be interesting. You got South Carolina taking on. Teams. Yeah, exactly. Must win for both teams. South Carolina taking on Missouri. It's hard to win at Missouri, so that's interesting. We'll see if Lenore Sellers, he sounds like he's a game time decision.
He can play, he can not play. Don't matter. Give me the Tigers.
There you go. Oh man. So yeah. So many games. West Virginia at Kansas. That's interesting. Tulane at Ole Miss. Yeah.
That's an interesting one as well.
Syracuse at Clemson. Does Clemson have anything left in the tank, Chris? Because
Oh man. And Syracuse likes to throw the ball. Syracuse is interesting. If Clemson is really depressed, down in the dumps, and does not come ready to play ball, Syracuse can make that game interesting. That'll be quite interesting because don't let Syracuse beat Clemson. Ooh. You think they're gonna be ready to run Dabo about it there if he loses this one?
They lose to Syracuse. Yeah, I think they're going to start having some long and hard discussions, Chris. Look, those meetings, they ain't gonna be too happy. That's all I gotta say. I don't think they're gonna be too happy about what they're seeing.
You lose to this year's Syracuse team, but this ain't even last year's Syracuse team. You lose to this year's rendition of Syracuse, boy. Sound like you caught a case of the Florida State from last year. It's like Florida State that gave you the bug.
Look, man, hey, it bees that way sometimes in the ACC. Oh my God! So yeah, if you lose that game, Dabo, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, I know what to tell you. I know what to tell you. Get ready to. He said y'all going to drag me up out of here. Bunker down, player. They're gonna come running and kicking and ready to tell your ass to scram. The rumblings, the murmurs will get a lot louder. It's gonna be conversations. It ain't gonna be whispering. It's gonna be spoken out loud. If that happens.
Oh man. It's gonna be rough. Look, in the words of Martin Lawrence, when he would get mad at Pam and Tommy and Cole.
Oh, get to stepping.
Get to stepping. that's definitely gonna be the Clemson boosters if everything starts to take a tumble.
And not down Howard's Rock.
Nope, no,
Down that hill.
no. At that point, they might roll you down that hill. They might roll you down that hill, and then they might roll you back up, and then put you in that bus that y'all always come out of. Put you in that team bus. But this time you ain't going back into the office. You going home.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the life you live when you're Clemson Tiger. So hey, it is what it is. Clemson Tiger fans. I know you're frustrated, but it's what you gotta live with. While Dabo's there, so yeah, man. Overall, a great week of college football ahead. I can't wait, Chris. And yeah, folks. We appreciate you guys as always. Being with us here on our 100th edition of the Breakdown Sportscast. We appreciate it, guys. Here's to a toast to more. If I had a nice wine glass, of course, I toast to 100 more episodes and count of the Breakdown Sportscast, because you guys are what's keeping us here and talking about the sport that we love, and that is college football. So, as always, guys, we very much appreciate you all supporting us throughout these 2-3 years of us doing this, and yeah, we're gonna let the good times roll and continue on with providing great content with you all. So, as always, we very much appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So before we get out of here, folks, we got some outros. I'll go ahead and let my good friend and co-host Chris let us know where you can find us, or where can we find you on social media.
Yes, holla at your boy on X, or as I call it, Twitter, at Chris_Bolton_12, Instagram Chris.Bolton_. Tap in, holla at your boy.
Awesome. So yeah, folks, definitely follow Chris on all socials. Yeah, he's always there to hang out and talk with all of you lovely people listening to the show. So yeah, definitely follow him on there. You can follow me on X at Listen to KSW, all one handle. I'm on there talking college football, of course, professional wrestling. A big weekend ahead, along with college football. Got some AEW, got some WrestlePalooza. So it should be a fun time, of course, if you're a wrestling fan like myself. So yeah, definitely follow me on there. And yeah, guys, as always, if you want to follow the show, be sure to follow us on all of our platforms. We're on X, Instagram, TikTok, at BD Sportscast. You can follow us on there. If you want to listen to all of our past and present episodes, you can listen to us on any of your favorite podcast apps that you prefer. And of course, if you want to follow us on our YouTube channel here, you can definitely do so. Leave a comment, subscribe, hype up our videos. Of course, it's definitely important for Chris and I as we grow this community with you all. So we also appreciate that. And yeah, you can also chime in with us and watch our Twitch streams where Chris and I are playing some college football 26, maybe some Madden, of course, in the future. So at Breakdown Video Game Cast, the link is provided in the description below. So yeah, guys, definitely follow us on there. So yeah, guys, we will be back on Sunday with our live episode. And we'll be going over the week that was, week 4 of the college football season. So yeah, definitely be tuned in to that. as we will break down all of the great games that happened over the weekend. But yeah, guys, that's it for us. We will catch y'all then. Until next time, I'm Kory Willis. He's Chris Bolton. You are listening to the Breakdown Sportscast. We will chat with y'all then.
Peace.
Peace.